With us today judging the show, we have with us Miss Landy McFarland Livingston. She and her husband Andrew have two children, Gwen and Ty, and they own and manage Hoover Angus in Elston, Iowa. She received a Bachelor of Science from Iowa State University in Agriculture Studies. She grew up on her family's registered Angus business that spans over 9 decades. Landy learned by experience the art and science of creating successful genetics. Landy and her families market 130 registered bulls and 80 registered females annually. Landy manages the herd's genetics, phenotypic and genotypic data collection and submission, AI and ET programs, customer relations, hired labor, and annual production sale. Landy has overseen the placement of 28 Hoover-owned bulls in 7 different AI studs, 16 of which carry the Hoover prefix. Their semen is marketed on these bulls on 5 different continents. Correction here if you're following along. Lot 2, his weight is 1132, and the correction is weight per day of age is 3.56. Again, his weight per day of age is 3.56. Also with us today, we have Lake Elliott from Adams, Tennessee. Lake is a partner at Robert Elliott and Sons in Adams, Tennessee. The Angus cattle, tobacco, and greenhouses, their business. He received his animal science degree from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. He's involved with my father and uncle in the Angus operation my grandfather formed back in 1935. And prior to today, his judging experience includes several breeding and market shows on a regional, state, and local levels. Rounding out our trio of judges for the day is Mr. Joe Fisher. Joe and his wife Abby have 3 sons, Bennett, Miles, Paxton. And they have a daughter, Meredith. His current position is manager and cattle partner of Bruin Ranch in Auburn, California. He graduated from Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, California with a Bachelor of Science in Animal Science. Joe was born into a commercial cattle industry and involved in purebred and commercial herd management during college. The last 14 years, he's managed Bruin Ranch, raising Angus cattle, where Bruin Ranch is a partner in a production sale each fall. Joe's true passion is developing genetics that thrive within commercial cattlemen and women's herds, with top priority placed on structural integrity, phenotype, and rangeland adaptability. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and our results are in. Winning this Class 1 in Division of Spring Calves is entry number 1, Dandy Acres Dooley, 35. March 7th, 2008, born, and he's consigned by Dandy's Acres in Pipestone, Minnesota. And second place in reserve for this division, entry 2, Spring Creek's Complete Turn, born March 4, 2008. He's consigned by Spring Creek's Cattle Company in Wazeeka, Wisconsin. Let's give our exhibitors a round of applause here. Entering the ring now is Class 2, our late winter Calves, Division 1. Lot 3 is a February 25th born bull. His weight is 1175, WDA 3.62. Entry 5, date of birth is February 8th, 2018. Weighs 1242 with a WDA of 3.63. He comes to us from Heifer, Angus cattle in Orland, California. And entry 6, born February 2nd of 2018. The bull weighs 1158 with a WDA of 3.33. He comes to us by Lakeview Angus in Meade, Colorado.
Ready to restart on the Hereford side of the show ring. This will be Class 760 as we get started with the horned Herefers, spring heifer calves, born May 1st through May 12th, 2018. Once again, Class 760 will be in the ring next. Our judge from Lima, Ohio, Todd Herman.
While we're finishing up our calculations here, I want to invite everyone to join us tonight for a social hour and a preview of the bulls that we'll have prior to the sale. Our sale is projected to start at 5:30 this evening, and we'll kick that off with our foundation female and some foundation pregnancy packages, and follow that up with our bull sale here. All right, and our results are in for Class 2 Late Winter Calves Division 1. Our first place goes to Lot 6, Lakeview Confidence Plus. He's born February the 2nd of 2018. He is exhibited and consigned by Lakeview Angus of Meade, Colorado. Our reserve in this division goes to entry 3, LVS Sky High 1806. Born February 25th of 2018. He is consigned by Levisay Farms of Creston, California. Let's give our consigners a round of applause here. Coming into the ring now on the Angus side of our Angus Bull Sale show, we have our Early Winter Calves Division 1. This will be Class 3. These bulls range in age from January 10th of 2018 to January 25th of 2018. Our consignments are as follows. Lot 7 is born January 25 of 2018. The bull weighs 1185. The weight per day of age of 3.33. He's consigned by Sankey 6N Ranch in Council Grove, Kansas. Lot 8 comes to us from Schroeder, Angus, and Clarence, Iowa. He's born January 21st of 2018. The bull weighs 1233. His WDA is 3.42. Lot 9, date of birth is January 19th, 2018. The bull weighs 1220. With a WDA of 3.37. He's consigned by Cox and Collier Livestock, Knoxville, Tennessee. Lot 10 is born January 12th, 2018. The bull weighs 1233. The weight per day of age of 3.34. He's also consigned by Cox and Collier Livestock from Knoxville, Tennessee. Lot 11 comes to us from Pollard Farms, Waukomis, Oklahoma. He's born January the 11th of 2018. The bull weighs 1187 with a WDA of 3.21. Lot 12, born January 10th, 2018. The bull weighs 1287 with a WDA of 3.47. He's consigned by Oklahoma State University, Stillwater, Oklahoma. And our final entry for this class is Lot 13. The bull's born January 10th of 2018. He weighs 1288, the WDA of 3.47. He's consigned by Peyton Jane Schrader of Durant, Iowa. Schroeder.
In the ring once again as we restart for the Hereford show. This is Class 760 Horned Hereford Spring Heifer Calves, born May 1st through May 12th, 2018. Our judge once again, Tom Herman from Lima, Ohio.
this first class of these horn heifers. Some really nice individuals in this particular class. Really excellent kind of female to start out with this in this May heifer calf class. A female that's really complete in the way she comes to us today. She's really youthful and long up through her front end and still has enough body and dimension and muscle shape to balance everything out. This young man's heifer coming here in second is probably a little bit greener as far as condition, and with that there's just not quite enough heifer there as what we've got in our class winner as far as depth and then just overall spring of rib and power to our class winner. But you really like the lines, you like the overall extension we see in the front 1/3 of her body, and I think her better days are ahead of her is with the amount of bone and muscle shape she has, and that propels her over this 1 1/3. Is there's just not quite enough muscle shape in this particular female. And then you look at her as far as paper, I didn't know it at the time, but I mean she gets a little bit higher birth-wise, but you have to go along with the amount of growth that she has as well. I mean, that kind of complements each other there, but her birth isn't the reason she ends up being in third. You just like to see a little more base width under that heifer as you watch her go away from you. Young lady's heifer ends up being fourth. Real nice pattern to her. She balances up extremely good. There's just not enough depth of flank in her from front to rear. You just like to see a little softer look to her. And then we've got a bigger, stouter individual as far as muscle shape to end with, but that heifer cuts up quite a bit in her flank. She's not quite as flexible when you ask that one to take off and go.
Up next in the ring on the Hereford side, class 761A, horn spring heifer calves, born April 12th through April 27th, 2018. Here's the results on 760. First place, 846. That is Jackson Krebs, Iowa. Second, 843. Haxton Harold Huffman, Nebraska. Third, 845. Grady Creamer, Texas. Fourth, 844. Melinda Braun, Illinois. Fifth, 847. Alyssa Rose, St. Olaf, Iowa. In your programs of placings for Class 760 are as follows: 2, 4, 3, 1, 5. Once again in the ring, Class 761A, horned spring heifer calves for the Hereford, born April 12th through April 27th, 2018.
Prior to the bull sale this evening, we'll also offer our foundation female brought to us by Krebs Ranch, and we'll also offer elite confirmed heifer pregnancies from across the country. To raise additional money for education, youth, and research, your Angus Foundation will also be offering 5 elite confirmed heifer pregnancies at the National Western Stock Show Angus Bull Sale. Donating these elite Angus genetics are nationally recognized Blackstone Cattle Company, Mineral Point, Wisconsin; Deer Valley Farm, Fayetteville, Tennessee; Musgrave Angus of Griggsville, Illinois; Riverbend Ranch, Idaho Falls, Idaho; and Topline Farm of Tremont, Illinois. Stop by the Angus Foundation hospitality booth on the hill for a cup of coffee and pick up your National Western Stock Show Angus Bull Sale catalog for more information about the heifer package and elite confirmed heifer pregnancies being offered. You won't want to miss the National Western Stock Show Angus Bull Sale starting at 5:30.
Boy, it's a nice class of these Aprils, and these first three, I'm gonna leave them away. They stand right there. There's got some wicked numbers attached to them. You know, they give up just a little bit as far as growth, or right at breed average. But boy, you love the low birth weight that's in them, and then you go on past that, the amount of milk that is attached to them as well. And then you just look at them phenotypically, just tremendous in the way they come to us. Love the condition this young lady's heifer is in that wins this particular class, and you look at her from the ground up, how this one moves and the extension that we see in this one. This is a really nice kind of female right here. This young man's heifer that ends up second, just so impressed with the amount of muscle that one has and bone work. If this one could just move a little bit better, she wins this class. But boy, she gets a little bit restricted as she goes, and there's not probably quite the softness built into her as what we've got on cattle on either side of her, but so much shape, and yet she still has all that extension up through that front end. And this dark red heifer that ends up third, if I could change her from her shoulders forward, this heifer's tremendous as far as her build, the amount of shape, and yet still green condition-wise, sound when you ask her to take off and go. She just gets a little bit deep-necked out here, and it throws her balance off just a notch. But excellent kind of female. I moved this one up quite a ways. It ends up going fourth here. This is too good a cattle to leave at the bottom of this class. So you really get to looking at her lines and how her structure is and her skeleton. She just needs more time. This one's just green out here, but real up-headed, good looking. When he gets her parked, nice heifer, just not quite enough of her. A little bit plainer one coming here. This young man here, 848, especially up through her front end. She doesn't extend out, coming out of the top side of her shoulder quite as high. Heifer, it gets a little bit flatter coming off of her rib than I prefer. Young lady's heifer, real fresh-haired kind of female, just a little bit tubular looking out here. Not quite as full, not quite as big-bodied as maybe I'd like to see at this stage. You like the condition she's in. She just needs a little bit more time. And then the young lady that follows her, sure an impressive individual from an overall performance standpoint, but gets pretty loose-made out here. You just like to tighten her up in her skeleton, flatten her out in her shoulder. But excellent class from one end to the other. Give this young group, this set of young people, a nice round of applause.
And the results are in over on the Angus side of the bull sale show. Our champion for this early winter calf division goes to entry number 7, Sankey's Way Up, 803, January 25th born bull. He's consigned by Sankey's 6N Ranch, Council Grove, Kansas. Reserve in this division goes to Lot 8, Schroeder Reno, 6986, a January 21st born bull. He's consigned by Schroeder Angus of Clarence, Iowa. Let's give all of our exhibitors and consigners a round of applause from this division.
In the ring next here for the Hereford is the Horn Spring Heifer Calves, Class 761B, born April 1st through April 10th, 2018. Here's the results on Class 761. First place, 849, Mackenzie Gunderson, Parker, South Dakota. Second, 852, Colin Dietzman, Leesburg, Indiana. In third, 854, Eric Rosson, Milford, Texas. In fourth, 851, Andrew Flockstra, Hamilton, Michigan. Fifth, 848, Jens Kirsta and Hans Lind, Rushford, Minnesota. In sixth, 855, Holly and Kaylee Shelton from Frederick, Maryland. Seventh, 853, Allie Schrammel, Orlando, Oklahoma. In your programs, the placings for 761 are as follows: 5, 1, scratch, 4, 2. Top of the next page, 7, 3, 6. In the ring once again with our judge, Todd Herman from Lima, Ohio. This is Class 761 Horn Spring Heifer Calves, born April 1st through April 10th, 2018.
All right, back over on the Angus side, we have Class 4 coming in, our senior calf division. Lot 15, born 12/24/2017. Bull weighs 1423 with a weight per day of age of 3.67. He's consigned by 2K Cattle Enterprises of Glenhaven, Wisconsin. Lot 16 comes to us. He's born December 16 of 2017. The bull weighs 15 3.09 with a weight per day of age of 3.81. He's consigned by Marta Angus Farm, Lodi, Wisconsin. Lot 17, born December 16 of 2017. He weighs 1580, the weight per day of age of 3.99. He too comes to us from Marta Angus Farm, Lodi, Wisconsin. Again, this is Class 4, Senior Calf Division 1. Bulls range in age from December 16th of 2017 to December 24th, 2017. For those of you on the Angus side, you take just a moment. We'll go over our placings procedures for the bull sale show, which is the same as what we use down in the yards here on Saturday for the pin and carload show. Each judge places the class independently and turns their placings in. For each class, there are 2 judges and a designated referee, which is designated on a rotating basis. Now, in the event that the 2 judges are not in agreement, the designated referee will be used to determine the official placing. The referee ranking, again, is only used to establish an official placing if the 2 judges' placings are not in agreement. Now, if you'll turn your attention to the screen here, I've got some slides to demonstrate the ranking process. Again, this is for demonstration only. We've got a fictional class 121A. We start by establishing first place. Looking at Judge A, his highest ranking entry is 13. Judge B's highest ranking entry is 14. There is no consensus, so we refer to the referee judge for a final placing. The referee judge has 13 over 14, so 13 is first. Moving on to second place, Judge A's highest ranking entry is 12. Judge B's highest ranking entry is 14. Again, no consensus, so we move to the referee to establish an official placing. The referee judge has 12 over 14. Entry 12 is second. For third place, Judge A has entry 14 as the highest ranking entry. Judge B also has entry 14 as his highest ranking. There is a consensus, so 14 is third, with no need to consult the referee's placing. Moving on to the final placing, we see that Judges A and B agree on the final entry. Again, no need to consult the referee placing, and 15 is fourth. And this is the same process we use for the sale bull show, and we use that down in the pin and carload show on the yards in Saturday.
Well, it's a nice class to go through. You get to this older class of Aprils out here, and then you look at the data on some of them. It's pretty incredible what's attached to some of these females and how relative it is to the way they look. These ones that are a little bit birth weight are a little bit stouter and a little more shape in them. in some cases, but excellent, excellent quality from one end to the other. This one that leads off, whoa, when this one walked into the ring, it's like, what is this? The way this one's put together, how correct she is in her overall makeup, and how fresh condition-wise she is, and yet still real up-headed and angular and feminine. Excellent, excellent female to lead off with. And you could tell the way I just stopped her as they were just coming to a stop out here, a female that I really, really like. And we get in here to second and third, you got to do a little bit of gives and takes. I end up using one that's a little bit stouter as far as her shape, her bone, and her overall skeleton. The young man's heifer that ends up going second. Young lady's female third. I really like that design, that outline, that overall look to that particular female. You know, it's just whether you think there's enough of it. You like that, how everything balances up on her. Next young lady going, sure, a high-performing female. You really appreciate all the power and performance we see in her. See, the heifer gets a little bit piecey looking out here. You like to see her hold herself together a little bit nicer, especially when she takes off and walks with her. Young man turning the corner right now. Sure, a nice look to that one. That heifer is extremely long-fronted and good neck kind of heifer. Gets pretty narrow as you watch that one go away from you. And not quite as much heifer there as what we've got in some of the heifers that walked out ahead of her. And we've got a couple of heifers here. It just gets a little bit plainer looking out here. You just like lack a little bit of balance. You just like to see a little bit more look to them. But young men doing an excellent job getting them shown out here. Give this whole class a nice hand if you would, please.
And the results are in over here on the Angus side. Our champion for this division, Class 4, goes to lot number 15, 2K Patriot 298, born December 24th of 2017. He's consigned by 2K Cattle Enterprises, Glen Haven, Wisconsin. Reserve for this division goes to lot 16, Marta Honor 850, a December 16th born bull who is consigned by Marta Angus Farm, Lodi, Wisconsin. Let's give our consigners a round of applause, and we remind you folks that these bulls are for sale this evening, and we encourage you to visit with our consigners about the bulls.
Up next, the ring for the Hereford. This is 761 Horn Spring Heifer Calves, born March 16th through March 30th, 2018. Here's the results on Class 761. First place, 864, Blake Breeding, Miami, Texas. Second, 858, Dylan Wayne Kotkamp, Clayton, Indiana. Third, 862, Sydney Shout, Dublin, Texas. Fourth, 860, Alexis Black, Streeter, Illinois. Fifth, 863, Grady Creamer, Waxahachie, Texas. Sixth, 861, Will Freeking from Alpha, Minnesota. Seventh, 856, Jory and Cooper Miller, Newcastle, Wyoming. In your programs of placings on page 17 for Class 761 are as follows: 7, scratch, scratch, 2, 4, 6, 3. Top of the next page, 5, 1. In the ring once again with our judge, Todd Herman from Lima, Ohio. This is Class 761C Horn Spring Heifer Calves, born March 16th through March 30th, 2018.
Over on the Angus side, we have Class 5 Senior Calf Division 2 of our sale bull show. The entries in this class range in age from September 7th of 2017 to October 25th of 2017. Lot 18, it was born October 25th of 2017. The bull weighs 1592 with a WDA of 3.55. He's brought to us today by Seven Oaks Angus, Durant, Iowa. 19, September 19th, 2017 born bull. Today he weighs 1311 with a WDA of 2.71. He is consigned by Bub Ranch in Koshkonong, Missouri. Lot 20, a September the 7th born bull who weighs 1746 with a WDA of 3.52. He's consigned by Bryce Lee Hoffing, Coatesville, Indiana. While the judges are working through Class 5, I'd like to take a moment to invite you again to be with us this evening for our sale. Along with our bull sale this evening, we have the 2019 Angus Foundation Heifer Package. This year's package is a top selected open heifer. Will be sold this evening at 5:30, and she is KR Queen 8213. She's a featured foundation heifer donated by Eldon and Louisa Krebs of Krebs Ranch, Gordon, Nebraska. These unrestricted proceeds from the sale of this heifer will support education, youth, and research. Sired by Basin Payweight, 1682, KR Queen, 8213, was born January 20th, 2018. The powerful and proven dam of KR Queen, 8213, is Barstow Queen, W16, a fertile and prolific donor who is a $40,000 top-selling bred cow of the 2017 National Western Foundation female sale. Again, we invite you to be with us this evening. We showcase this female, the genetic packages, and of course, the good bulls you see in front of you.
As we get into this class of March heifers, there's another excellent set of females from top to bottom. If you would, give these exhibitors a nice hand. It's a nice set of heifers right here. This young man to lead off this class, he does it pretty handily in my mind. I thought that when I saw this heifer that ends up second come in the ring, that it was going to be pretty tough to beat her, but then he was the last one in and said, whoop, he might have just done it, and he has. I mean, this is a nice female, the way this one comes to us, and her makeup and her design, the way this one can move and yet still extended up through that front end. He does a really good job getting this one shown out here. My compliments to this young man. He's done a really good job. This dark red heifer coming here is sure one that you gravitate to as far as a profile standpoint. I mean, this heifer's really good looking when he gets her stopped out here. Her neck doesn't come out of her shoulders quite as high, and I don't think she's as genuine in her shape from front to rear as what we've got in that class winner, especially when you look at her from this view. She gets a little bit shorter out through her hip, but a female that's just got a tremendous amount of good in her. A little bit bigger outline, bigger frame kind of female coming here in third. The one I moved up just a notch. She's just a little bit better, a little bit longer out through her hip than what we've got in that fourth place heifer. I don't think she ties together quite as nice in her top and in her forerib to get her any higher than third in this particular class. But you love the condition that one's in. That one's gonna do a lot as time goes on, as far as she continues to mature and develop. I really like the pattern and the balance of this one. Ends up being fourth, but you really get to looking at her and comparing cattle. There isn't quite as much heifer there, obviously, as what we've got in the three head that walked out ahead of her, but I really like that look and that completeness. Young lady's female right here in front of me, you sure have to be impressed with the amount of shape this one has in her, but a heifer that gets a little bit tighter in her flank. You just like to see a little softer look to this one. This young lady coming out right now, sure one that you like from an overall length and spine standpoint. This heifer's tremendously green. I mean, one of the greenest heifers in this class, and still have that amount of body in her. It says a lot for her. She's big in her bone work, but she gets pretty narrow on both ends at the ground. If that one will continue to blow apart as a feeder, she's going to be really good. She just needs a few more days. This young man's heifer right here, you love her from the top third of her body. I mean, tremendous in her top and her loin and out through her hip. She just doesn't have quite enough body shape or depth of body in her for me today. And then the young lady right here having a little bit of a problem out here getting this heifer shown, but she's doing a really nice job, and she's got her parked there good enough that you get a good enough look to her. But a heifer that just didn't quite enough muscle shape in that one yet. You like how her balance is, and you like how silent she is as you watch her go. She just needs a few more days on feed. And this young lady right here in front of me as well, nice pattern to this one, good at the ground as you watch her go. It just gets a little more refined in her bone work, not quite the overall look to that one as what we've got in some of the other cattle in this particular class.
All right, and our results are in over on the Angus side for Class 5 Senior Calf Division 2. Our champion for this division goes to Lot 20, Cardon Small Talk, September 7th, 2017 born bull, who is consigned by Bryce Lee Hofing of Coatesville, Indiana. Reserve for this division goes to Lot 18, RRR 7 Oaks Colonel, RO 947, born October 25th of 2017. He's consigned by 7 Oaks Angus of Durant, Iowa, and Reverse Rocking R of Maxwell, New Mexico. Let's give our consigners a big round of applause for this class.
Coming to the ring for Hereford, this is Class 761 Horn Spring Heifer Calves, born March 3rd through March 15, 2018. Here are the results on Class 761. First place, 877, Denver and Berkeley McKay, Orlando, Oklahoma. In second, 865, Ben Ryan Jensen, Cortland, Kansas. Third, 876, Addison and Peyton Owensby, Folsom, New Mexico. Fourth, 873, Will Freeking from Alpha, Minnesota. Fifth, 870, Kalen Bauer, Monfield, Illinois. Sixth, 866, Hadley Dunclow, Wayne, Nebraska. Seventh, 875, Jacob Bonshak from Taylor Ridge, Illinois. Eighth, 872, Cashlin Sage and Kinsley Krebs, Gordon, Nebraska. 9th, 869, Lindsay, Andrew, and Tyler Eldred, Bellingham, Washington. In your programs, the placings for page 18 on Class 761 are as follows: 2, 6, 9, 5, 8, 4, scratch, 7. Top of the next page 19 there, it's 3, 1. As I mentioned in the ring, this is Class 761D, Horn Spring Heifer Calves, born March 3rd through March 15th, 2018, with our judge Todd Herman from Lima, Ohio. After this class will be our Horn Champion Spring Heifer Calf Division Championship.
In the ring now on the Angus side, we have Class 6, which is our intermediate division of bulls. Lot 22 was born August 31st, 2017. The bull weighs 1523 with a WDA of 3.03. He's consigned by Rosita Farms in Moncton, Maryland. Lot 23 was born August 26th of 2017. The bull weighs 2,080 pounds with a weight per day of age of 4.09. He is consigned by Marta Angus Farm of Lodi, Wisconsin. Lot 24 was born June 17th, 2017. He weighs 1851 with a WDA of 3.20. He's consigned by Finley Brothers Cattle in Anderson, Missouri. Lot 25, a May 11th born bull. He weighs 2,024 with a WDA of 3.29. He's consigned by Bloom Angus Farm of Westville, Indiana. And closing out the class here, we have Lot 26, May 5th, 2017 born bull, who weighs 2,083 pounds with a weight per day of age of 3.35. He is consigned by Mr. Bryce Lee Hofing of Coatesville, Indiana. Recapping this class here, the bulls range in age from May 5th, 2017 to August 31st of 2017. The American Angus Association would love to invite you this evening to the Stadium Arena as they present the National Western Angus Bull Sale, nearly 35 lots of elite Angus genetics. A social will begin approximately around 4:15, and the sale will start at 5:30 with the 2019 Angus Foundation Heifer Package.
we get into this class of Marches, boy, this is good from one end to the other, and it just kind of depends on how you perceive these or how they hit you when they come in the ring. There's no doubt the one that hit me the hardest in this particular class, this young lady's Heifer to lead off this particular group of females. This one's really nice. It's a lot like what I've seen in a couple classes before this, that kind of pattern, that kind of design, yet still green enough condition-wise, good as far as her skeleton and the way that one can move. Just an excellent kind of heifer. Now, you get in here to second, third, and fourth, you can do whatever you want to do here. I mean, it gets a little bit hairy on where you put your priorities or how you like these. I ended up going with this young lady's tick-back heifer here to go second. It's just because when longer you look at that one, it's hard to find a hole in her. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with her. I mean, a female that's good as far as her movement. You like the amount of body she exhibits out here. She probably just isn't quite as stout as what we've got in our class winner, but excellent, complete kind of female that ends up going second. This one here in third, there's parts of this one that are just pretty incredible looking. The amount of bone that one has underneath her, the female that is so stout and rugged in the way she comes to us as far as her overall makeup. She's just not as long and as extended up through that front end. This young man does a really nice job getting this one shown when he gets her parked, because if not, that heifer's off just a little bit in her hip, and he gets her loin down and gets her lined out. My compliments to that young man. Now, this young lady's having a tough time out here. This is a really nice kind of female, and she's working really hard at it. She did get her parked really good over here for a little while and give me a really good look. But with that heifer, she gets a little more refined in her bone work. There's not quite the natural muscle and shape out through her hip, but you love her as far as her overall body and makeup. This young man's female coming right here in front of me, this is a really nice one right here that ends up going fifth. There's just 4 of them that are a little bit stouter and farther along maturity-wise than this one. This one's really nice. He keeps on feeding on this one. This is an excellent kind of female right here. Young lady coming out right now, sure one that's really long and extended in the way that one comes to us. It just gets a little bit piecier looking out here. There's times you catch her that she gets her lined out really nice and it has a nice look to her. But there's other times that this heifer drops off at her pins just a notch, a little bit broken up right there in her fore rib and how her shoulder's hooked up. And then the young lady following her, sure one that you like. Again, from an overall pattern standpoint, just a little bit tighter made kind of female in her rear flank and out through her hip. You just like to see a little bit more length in that regard. But excellent class one end to the other. Give them a nice hand.
Up next, the ring on Hereford side will be the Spring Heifer Calf Division Championship. First and seconds back in the ring from classes 760, 761A, B, C, and D. Here's the results on 761D. First place, 878, Carly Wheeler, Paso Robles, California. Second, the write-in in your program, 887, Katie Frazier, Ponca City, Oklahoma. Third, 885, Dylan Wayne Cotcamp, Clayton, Indiana. Fourth, 884, Blakely Hayes, Ada, Oklahoma. Fifth, 883, Devin Moore, Clear Lake, South Dakota. Sixth, 879, Tara Garcia, Tecumseh, Oklahoma. Seventh, 881, Samantha Lynn Campbell, Eaton, Colorado. In your programs, the placings for Class 761D on page 19 are as follows: 1, 6, 7, scratch, 5, 4, 3, and the right end at the bottom of my page anyway, 2. That's 887, Katie Frazier, Ponca City, Oklahoma. Once again, your Spring Heifer Calf Division Championship in the ring with our judge from Lima, Ohio, Todd Herman.
And the results are in over on the Angus side. This is Class 6 Intermediate Bulls. Our champion for this division goes to lot 23, Marta General MacArthur, 7158, born August 26 of 2017. He's consigned by Marta Angus Farm in Lodi, Wisconsin. Your reserve for this division goes to lot 24, FB 5K Lancelot, 7007. He's born June 17, 2017, and he's consigned by Finley Brothers Cattle of Anderson, Missouri. Let's give our champions and our consigners a big round of applause for this class.
Well, I'm not so sure that this horn division isn't better than that first pole division that we saw earlier today, and I thought that was incredible. But there is all five of these. I'm not going to leave one out. This is unbelievable. How much quality is standing out here in front of me right now. And then you look at what's attached to them. It's pretty wild looking. I mean, there's some gives and takes a little bit as far as if you want to just rank them on numbers. I mean, some of them give up a little bit of growth, but the low birth weight in these things, the opportunities and the things that you can do with these females will be pretty incredible when it comes time to mate them, because there's a lot of bulls that you could use on these with numbers that are attached like this. I can talk about each and every one of these quite a while out here in this lineup, and you know that heifer that won that May class, I didn't think that there was going to be a heifer be able to touch her in this division, how good she looked coming out of that class, but unfortunately there is. But give them a nice round of applause and I'll tell you which ones I like. One's going to win this division, young lady right here, come out of this third class. Congratulations. I talked about this heifer that was second in that class, you know, how stout and rugged that one is and what she has to offer. There's one out here that's a lot closer in type and kind to our division champion. It's that young man that come out of this fourth class. He's going to have a reserve division champion. Give him a nice hand. Congratulations. Good job, bud.
In the ring now on the Angus side, we have Class 7. Our late junior bulls, they range in age from March 4th, 2017 to April 10th, 2017. Our consignments are as follow. Lot 27, born April 10th, 2017. The bull weighs 1933 with a WDA of 2.99. He's consigned by Weaver Angus Farms, Edwards, Illinois. Lot 28 is a March 23rd, 2017 born bull. He weighs 2,088 pounds, a WDA of 3.14. He's consigned by K. Bar D of Redmond, Oregon. Lot 29 is March 22nd, 2017 born bull. He weighs 2205 with a WDA of 3.32. He's consigned by Hurlbut Cattle of Raymond, South Dakota. And we have lot 30. March 4th, 2017 born bull who weighs 1995. The WDA is 2.92. This bull is consigned by Blue Drifter Ranch of Issaquah, Washington.
Your Horn Spring heifer calf for the Hereford show. In that division, your champion was 864 Miss Mighty Blake Breeding, Miami, Texas, out of Class 761B. Your reserve was out of Class 761C, that's 877, with Monroe, Denver, and Berkeley McKay, Orlando, Oklahoma. Coming in the ring at this time is Class 762 Horn Junior heifer calves born February 1st through February 28th, 2018. We have two classes within this junior heifer calf division. This is our first of two. Judge once again, Todd Herman, Lima, Ohio. Once again, we'd like to thank our state arena sponsors, Can't do our shows without them. We'd like to thank our friends at Showbloom for sponsoring all the Hill and Yards open breeding cattle back tags for the 2019 National Western. Champions don't just show up, they win with Showbloom. We owe a big thank you to our friends at Purina for sponsoring all the webcasting and renowned media scholar program. You can watch every show live at nationalwestern.com. Purina, feed greatness. Also want to thank Angus. You can watch renowned Angus livestock grooming educator Kirk Steerwalt demonstrate cattle fitting in the Beef Palace Auction Arena. Mr. Steerwalt will explain the latest techniques to get award-winning results from your Angus tools. Check your schedule for dates and times. I want to thank Sullivan Supply and Stock Show University, trusted by champions nationwide. Thanks to them as well, all the livestock shows are webcasted live, and the archives are available too at nationalwestern.com. They sponsor our Livestock Media Scholar Program. Sullivan Supply, the innovative leader in livestock grooming supplies. Also like to thank John Deere, the official agriculture and turf equipment provider for the National Western. Visit your local John Deere dealer for great deals, and remember, nothing runs like a deer. One other one we'd like to thank is Show Champions, longtime official photographer of the National Western. You can check out all the pictures taken in the arena and at the backdrops, and purchase pictures online at showchampions.com. Thanks once again to Showbloom, Purina, Sullivan Supply, Stock Show University, Angus, John Deere, and of course, Show Champions.
And the results are in over on the Angus side. Our champion for this division is WAF Collusion 703, born April 10th, 2017. As consigned by Weaver Angus Farm, Edwards, Illinois. He'll be lot 27 in tonight's sale. Our reserve for this division goes to lot 28, K-Bar D In-Depth 23E. March 23rd, 2017 born bull, who is consigned by K-Bar D in Redmond, Oregon. Let's give our champions and consigners a round of applause for this division. Would like to invite everyone on behalf of the Angus Association for this evening's social hour and preview prior to tonight's sale. The sale will begin at 5:30. We'll kick off the sale with the Foundation female, then follow that by 5 genetic packages, and then we'll get into the bull sale shortly thereafter. For those of you hopeful for bull purchases this evening, we invite you to go back into the stalls and visit with the consigners prior to tonight's sale. We'd love to have you this evening. Coming in the ring now on the Angus side is Class 8, our early junior bull division. Bulls in this division range in age from January 3rd, 2017 to February 22nd of 2017. Our consignments are as follows. Entry 31, born February 22nd, 2017. Bull weighs 2165. Give me just a moment on that WDA.
It's a real interesting class of these Februaries. You get to really looking at these and comparing them and watch them move, and then look at them from the ground up on how they come together. Young man's Heifer to win. She's just the most complete of what we've got in this class out here today. I mean, Heifer that moves good. When he gets her parked out here, she's just a little bit goofy acting out here. He's got to go real easy with her, or I think she's going to blow up. But once he gets her parked and lined out, she gives you a nice look. I mean, everything fits together on her. She's really complete in the way she comes to us. I love the condition she's in at this stage. Nice Heifer to win this class. This one here in second, you can move her anywhere you want to move her in this class. She's a little bit big outlined or bigger than what we've got a lot of these in this class, but you really look at this one, how much power is there, how much overall mass is put into this one. It's pretty hard to move her anywhere but second, and then with that, how well that one can move. I love this one right here. If this one could just move a little bit better. The way this one is built is pretty incredible. She's just a little bit tight acting out here, or in her movement, just a little bit tight. Here's one that you really like from her shoulders back. I mean, the big bodied, big hip, big muscled kind of female. Her front end just needs to be jacked up out of her, needs to come out of her shoulders a little bit higher than it does. She walks around kind of with her head down. Female coming right behind her. Female you really like from an overall look standpoint, carrying quite a bit of condition right there on her tail head. Just gets a little bit plainer looking, if you will, in comparison. Here's one you really like from her hip forward. I mean, this big, good bodied, really nice Springer rib to her, but she gets off just a little bit in her hip. Maybe doesn't handle those rear legs with a lot of coordination, or enough coordination. I like the youthfulness, the condition of this one going right here, but a Heifer that looks off in her hip. There's not quite the bone work in her or the natural muscle shape in her. Here's one that you just like to see a little more depth of flank in. You love the lines in her. You like the way she is in her top and out through her hip. Here's one going that's just a little bit too tight looking out here. The one that you like as far as the way she can set down, cushion in that rear pastern. Maybe has a little bit more set to that hind leg, but I think there's a lot of longevity in that as well. Then the young lady's Heifer, sure one that you like from a brood cow standpoint. Excellent as far as her structure and her correctness. I just like to pretty that one up, give her a little more look and style to her.
All right, for those of you keeping up on the Angus side here, we've got in the ring Class 8, our early junior bulls. These bulls range in age from January 3rd, 2017 to February 22nd, 2017. Our consignments are as follows. We've got lot 31, born February 22nd, 2017. He weighs 2165, WDA of 3.12. He's consigned by Rosita Farm of Moncton, Maryland. Lot 33 is next. He's born January 31st of 2017. The bull weighs 1858 with a weight per day of age of 2.60. He's consigned by ENS Cattle Company of Deaton, Kansas. And our final consignment for this class is entry 34, born January 3rd, 2017. The bull weighs 2141 with a weight per day of age of 2.88. He's consigned by Sugar Springs Ranch in Lincoln, Arkansas.
Over on the Hereford side, in the ring is Class 763 Horn Junior Heifer Calves, born January 2nd through January 29, 2018. Here's the results on Class 762, that last class. First place, 900, Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Second, 892, Cruz and Piper Collier, Brno, Idaho. Third, 896, Hardy Malcolm Edwards IV, Winterville, Georgia. Fourth, 895, Alexis Black Streeter, Illinois. Fifth, 893, Bell J.N. Wachi from Weatherford, Texas. Sixth, 899, Ethan and Nathan Hopkins, Winchester, Tennessee. Seventh, 891, Kaylee Nicole Shelton, Frederick, Maryland. Eighth, 889, Cruz and Piper Collier, Brno, Idaho. Ninth, 902, Maddie Byers, Gladewater, Texas. 10th, 901, Mary Barrett, Altus, Oklahoma. In your programs, the placings for 762 are as follows: 8, 7, 2, 5, 4, 3, 6, 1. Top of the next page, 10, 9. Once again in the ring, it's Class 763 Horn Junior Heifer Calves, born January 2nd through January 29th, 2018, with our judge from Lima, Ohio, Todd Herman.
And the results are in over on the Angus side. Our champions have been selected for Class 8, our early junior bulls. Champion for this division goes to Lot 34, SSR Discovery 2527, born January 3rd, 2017. He's consigned by Sugar Springs Ranch of Lincoln, Arkansas. Reserve in this division goes to 31, Rosita Discovery EO17, born February 22nd of 2017, consigned by Rosita Farm of Moncton, Maryland. Let's give our champions and consigners a round of applause for Class 8.
This class of January heifer calves, sure, 4 really good individuals in this particular class. One that gravitates to the top of this class pretty easy for me, and especially when you look at the numbers that are attached to her as well. But as far as just being stout and then good looking and have enough extension and angularity, this one puts it together pretty well out here amongst these 4. Female that you like when this young lady gets her in motion, a really good kind of heifer here to use in this particular class. Young man heifer, it ends up second, sure one that you like as well, especially up high in her body. It's just tremendous as far as her shape and her loin and how everything hooks up to her from front to rear. Just not quite as much there as what we've got in our class winner to me, but really good in her bone work. Heifer calf, again, that can take off and go, and you like how she goes when she's in motion. Here's one that's pretty interesting. This one that ends up being third. One that you like that kind of completeness, but a heifer that to me is carrying a lot more condition than anything else in this particular class. She's running downhill pretty bad, just a lower fronted kind of female, if you will, to cattle on either side of her, but you like how soft and how efficient she is, but you just like to see this one built just a little bit different, especially up through her front end. Then we got the highest yearling weight EPD heifer to end with in this particular class, but a heifer gets a little bit tighter as she goes. There's not quite the natural body shape and dimension to her as what we've got in the 3 head that walk out ahead of her, but you like her lines, you like her overall length of body.
Coming in the ring next for the Hereford will be the Horn Champion Junior Heifer Calf for the division. First and second from classes 762 and 763. Speaking of 763, here's the results. First place 907, Family Tradition, Victoria Chapman, Mansville, Oklahoma. Second 910, Felicity, Cashland, Sage, and Kinsley Krebs, Gordon, Nebraska. Third 903, Purple Shirley, Riley Gregory Rhodes, Carlinville, Illinois. Fourth 912, 5Z Rockin' Bess, Gracia Nicole Nelson, Del Manita, Alberta, Canada. And your programs of placings for Class 763 are as follows on page 21. 3, scratch, scratch, 1, scratch, 2, 4. As I mentioned, coming in the ring, Horn Champion Junior Hereford Heifer Calf selection with our judge from Lima, Ohio, Todd Herman. First and seconds back in the ring for classes 762 and 763.
In the ring now on the Angus side was our final division, which Class 9 Senior Bulls. Our consignment was entry 35 DAJS AH Explorer 308, who will be the champion for this division. Bull was born on July 12, 2016. For those of you keeping up along with the program, the bull weighs 2747, the WDA of 2.99. He is consigned by Doug Satry of Angus of Montague, Texas. Let's give our champion there a round of applause for the final division. At this time, we'd love to introduce our 2019 Angus Foundation Heifer Package. Coming in the ring, we have Miss KR Queen 8213. She's donated graciously by Eldon Miss Louisa Krebs of Krebs Ranch, Gordon, Nebraska. These unrestricted proceeds from the sale of this heifer will support youth education and research for the Angus Foundation. Sired by Basin Payweight 1682, KR Queen 8213 was born January 20th of 2018. The powerful and proven donor dam of KR Queen 8213, Barstow Queen W16, is a fertile and prolific donor who is the $40,000 top-selling bred cow of the 2017 National Western Foundation Female Sale. Barstow Queen W16 produced the $324,000 valued Krebs Ranch herd sire Barstow Cash. KR Queen 8213 is the only heifer born from the elite mating of Payweight 1682 and W16 Barstow Queen, and she was the only embryo heifer allowed to leave Krebs Ranch in 2018. This elite Angus female is a striking and stylish female that displays the kind of elite visual quality, power, and function associated with Krebs Ranch females. With purchase of the Angus Foundation Heifer Package, the buyer will also receive 30 days insurance from American Livestock Insurance, transportation of the heifer to the buyer's ranch from Lathrop Livestock Transportation, and an advanced reproductive technology package from Transova Genetics. Stop by the Krebs Ranch display this week and view this outstanding heifer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the Krebs family a big round of applause for their donation.
We're going to pick this second division here in the Horn Heifer Show, and boy, they just keep coming and coming. And both these class winners, you look at them phenotypically, and then you look what they have to offer on paper. It's just tremendous opportunities with what you can do with these things, and it just comes down to personal preference. You know, there's one that maybe a little bit narrow as she hits the ground. The other one, one of these class winners, is a little bit short as you watch her go as far as hitting her stride. You know, so there's just real nitpicky things that separate these two, and like I said, just comes down to personal preference. Young man's February is going to win this division. Young ladies January will be a reserve. Congratulations. Give them a nice hand. Oh, I got it. Yep, you're good. Thank you. Congratulations. Good job.
Your junior heifer calf champion for the Horned Hereford is 900. That's out of class 762. TCC, TB, Miss Alice 81ET, Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. And your reserve champion comes out of class 763. That's 907. CMCC, Family Tradition, 854 FET, Victoria Chapman, Mansville, Oklahoma. Up next, we have two classes in the next division, the senior heifer calf division. Our first class has two entries. It's 764 horned senior heifer calves. These born November 16th through December 20th, 2017.
Over on the Angus side, entering the ring now is our selection for our champion Angus Bull Sale Show for the 2019 National Western Stock Show. In contention from our first division is consignment lot number 1, Dandy Acres Dooley 35, born March 7th of 2018. He weighs 1201 with a WDA of 3.81. He's consigned by Dandy Acres Angus of Pipestone, Minnesota. From our second division, late winter calves, we have lot 6, Lakeview Confidence Plus, born February 2nd, 2018. The bull weighs 1158 with a WDA of 3.33. He's consigned by Lakeview Angus of Meade, Colorado. From our next division, Class 3 Early Winter Calves, Division 1, we have lot 7, Sankey's Way Up, 803, born January 25th, 2018. He weighs 1185, WDA of 3.33. He's consigned by Sankey's 6-N Ranch, Council Grove, Kansas.
We got just two head here in November and December class. End up using this November to win. Just a lot better in her pattern. There's a little bit more quality to me, a lot flatter in her shoulder. After you get off on a 3/4 on that one, everything fits together extremely good on her. She gives up a little bit as far as overall power to our December heifer, but you put that one in motion. She's really flexible. You like her joint size. Just a lot of quality to me in that November heifer to win. You look at her EPD wise, gives up a little bit as far as yearling, but just tremendous as far as her birth weight EPD. I like the stoutness that we got in this heifer that ends up second to this young man. Just tremendous in that regard as far as her bone, her muscle. But with that, she gets a little bit rounder in her shoulder, a little bit rounder out through her hip. It just tone her down just a little bit for me, but a lot of power, just a big-time donor cow right there for that young man. Give those two exhibitors a nice hand.
Continuing on our champion lineup, representing our 4th division is lot 15, 2K Patriot, 298, born December 24, 2017. He weighs 1423 with a WDA of 3.67. He's consigned by 2K Cattle Enterprises of Glen Haven, Wisconsin. From our 5th division, it is Lot 20, Cardon Smalltalk, born September 7th of 2017. He weighs 1746 with a WDA of 3.52. He's consigned by Bryce Lee Hofing of Coatesville, Indiana. From the 6th division, we have number 23, Marta General MacArthur, 7158, born August 26th of 2017. He weighs 2,080 pounds, a WDA of 4.09. He's consigned by Marta Angus Farm of Lodi, Wisconsin. From the 7th division, we have lot number 27, WAF Collusion 703. He's born April 10th of 2017. He weighs 1933 with a WDA of 2.99. He's consigned by Weaver Angus Farms, Edwards, Illinois. From our 8th division, lot 34, SSR Discovery 2527, born January 3rd of 2017. He weighs 2,141 pounds, a WDA of 2.88. He's consigned by Sugar Springs Ranch, Lincoln, Arkansas. From our final division, Division 9, is Lot 35, DAJS AH Explorer 308, born July 12, 2016. He weighs 2747 with a WDA of 2.99. He's consigned by Doug Satry Angus of Montague, Texas. Let's give our consignments out here a big round of applause.
In the ring is Class 765, Horn Senior Heifer Calves, born October 21st through November 9th, 2017. Going back to Class 764, here's the results. First place, 916, Austin Lane Breeding, Miami, Texas. Second, 913, Jacob Jensen, Bonfield, Illinois.
Our respective reserves over on the Angus side from First Division is Lot 2, Spring Creek's Complete Turn, born March 4th, 2018. He weighs 1132, WDA of 3.56. He's consigned by Spring Creek's Cattle Company of Wazeeka, Wisconsin. From Class 2, our reserve was Lot 3, LVS Sky High, 1806, born February 25th of 2018. He weighs 1175, a WDA of 3.62. He's consigned by Levisay Farms of Creston, California. From our 3rd division, Lot 8, Schroeder Reno, 6986, born January 21st of 2018. He weighs 1233 with a WDA of 3.42. He's consigned by Schroeder Angus of Clarence, Iowa. From our 4th division, Lot 16, Marta Honor, 850, born December 16th, 2017. He weighs 1509 with a WDA of 3.81, consigned by Marta Angus of Lodi, Wisconsin. The 5th division, Lot 18, RRR, Seven Oaks Colonel, RO947, born October 25th of 2017. He weighs 1592 with a WDA of 3.55. He's consigned by Seven Oaks Angus of Durant, Iowa, and Reverse Rocking R of Maxwell, New Mexico. From the 6th division, Lot 24, FB 5K Lancelot, 7007, born June 16th, 2017. The bull weighs 1851 with a WDA of 3.20. He's consigned by Finley Brothers Cattle of Anderson, Missouri. From our 7th division, reserve was K-Bar D in depth 23E. That's Lot 28. He's born March 23rd, 2017. He weighs 2,088 pounds with a WDA of 3.14. He's consigned by K-Bar D of Redmond, Oregon. Our final reserve today is Lot 31, Rosita Discovery, EO17. He's born February 22nd of 2017. He weighs 2165 with a WDA of 3.12. Again, we want to invite everyone on behalf of the Angus Association to join us this evening for social hour and preview of the sale offering. Tonight's sale starts at 5:30. We'll begin with the Foundation Female, follow that with the Foundation Genetic Packages, and then we'll get right into the bulls. Those Foundation Elite Confirmed Heifer pregnancies were donated this year by Blackstone Cattle Company, Mineral Point, Wisconsin, Deer Valley Farm, Fayetteville, Tennessee, Musgrave Angus, Griggsville, Illinois, Riverbend Ranch of Idaho Falls, Idaho, and Topline Farm of Tremont, Illinois. Immediately following the selection of our champion and reserve bulls, we will bring the consignments back into the ring for inspection. So those of you ringside in the stands, we'll invite you down to go through the bulls and visit with the consigners here directly following the show. Judge?
Boy, it's another good class. You just keep coming in this show and throughout this particular breed right here. You get into these October, November heifers. This is pretty incredible. These first four heifers, what they had to offer out here. The one to win, this young man's heifer is just so good when he takes off with her. How well this one can move, how flexible, how long strided she is, and yet she gives you a really good look when you get off to the profile of this particular female. This one coming here in second, maybe just a little bit bigger outline kind of female, which is good, but not quite as loose made or as flexible as what we've got in this class winner, but excellent kind of female there ends up going second. One here in third, boy, this one really intrigues me, and I really enjoy looking at this one because of her neck extension, the way this one is put together. There's just not as much heifer there, and you really get to looking at how genuine she is in her shape. There's just not as much genuine muscle and natural thickness to that one as what we've got in those two that walked out ahead of her. But here's one that is. I mean, this one is a little bit stouter built from one end to the other or from the ground up. She just gets a little bit shorter and thicker up through her front end, maybe a little more condition out through that tail head than I prefer. This young lady's female coming out right now, like this one from a brood cow standpoint. Good-footed, good-legged, can get out and move. It just gets a little bit plainer looking, especially out through her hip and up through that front end. Young man got this really pretty dark red heifer that ends up closing this class, built extremely good, just a little bit plainer, not the overall look to her by comparison as what we've got in cattle that walked out ahead of her. But he done an excellent job getting her shown out here. Give him a nice round of applause, if you would, please.
Here's the result on the Hereford side for Horn Senior Heifer Calves, Class 765. First place, 918. That is Olivia, Sam, and Julia Barron, Lenapaw, Oklahoma. Second, 919. Victoria Chapman, Mansville, Oklahoma. Third, 922. Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Fourth, 921. Kinley Daly, Kingston, Oklahoma. Fifth, 920. Caitlin and Kylan Scott, Crawford, Oklahoma. Sixth, 923. That is Cole Dieball and Taylor Dieball, Little River, Kansas. In your programs of placings, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 6. Up next, Senior Heifer Calf Division Championship. First and seconds back in the ring from 764 and 765.
As our judges sort through our consignments here on the Angus side, we invite you along ringside to do the same, and I'll introduce the judges that we have with us today. With us today is Miss Landy McFarland Livingston. She and her husband Andrew have 2 children, Gwen and Ty. She's the owner-manager of Hoover Angus in Elston, Iowa. She graduated from Iowa State University with a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Studies. Growing up on her family's registered Angus business that spans over 9 decades, Landy learned by experience the art and science of creating successful genetics. Landy and her family market 130 registered bulls and 80 registered females annually. Landy manages the herd's genetics, phenotypic and genotypic data collection and submission, AI and ET programs, customer relations, hired labor, and annual production sale. Landy has overseen the placement of 28 Hoover-owned bulls and 7 different AI studs, 16 of which carry the Hoover prefix. Semen is marketed on these bulls on 5 different continents. Also with us is Mr. Lake Elliott. Lake is a partner at Robert Elliott & Sons in Adam, Tennessee. where they have Angus cattle, tobacco, and greenhouses. He graduated with his animal science degree from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville, and he is involved with his father and uncle in an Angus operation that his grandfather formed in 1935. Go ahead, Judge.
I'll make this fast. In this second division or third division of these horned heifers, we get these Novembers out here in Decembers, and the numbers that are attached to them are pretty incredible. I've been saying throughout this whole show, but this is really true in this particular division, what they have to offer. There's two of them that, to me, fit together really nice, and that's those two Novembers down here that went first and second in their class. Congratulations to them. Give them a nice hand.
Your champion senior heifer calf for the Horned Hereford come out of class 765. That is 918, Arabella, Olivia, Sam, and Julia Barron, Lenapaw, Oklahoma. Your reserve comes from the same class as your champion, 765. That's 919, Enchanting Points, Victoria Chapman, Mansville, Oklahoma. Up next, class 768 Horned Early Summer Yearlings, born May 5th through June 5th, 2017. This is also your intermediate yearling female division championship.
Our final judge to introduce on the Angus side is Mr. Joe Fisher. Joe and his wife Abby have 3 sons, Bennett, Miles, and Paxton, and a daughter, Meredith. He currently is the manager and cattle partner of Bruin Ranch in Auburn, California. He's a graduate of Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, California, where he received a Bachelor of Science in Animal Science. Joe was born into a commercial cattle industry and involved in purebred and commercial herd management during college. For the past 14 years, he's managed Bruin Ranch, raising Angus cattle, where Bruin Ranch is a partner in a production sale each fall. Joe's true passion is developing genetics that thrive within commercial cattlemen and cattlewomen's herds, with top priority placed on structural integrity, phenotype, and rangeland adaptability. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our judges a big round of applause today on the Angus side.
Well, here's a trio of really sound, good numbered May heifers. So you just sort these things phenotypically, and this little young lady's got an excellent female. So fresh condition wise, a heifer that's super when she gets her parked out here as far as her angularity and femininity, the extension you see up through that front end, just tremendous. My compliments to that little girl on what she's brought out here today. This young man that ends up second probably got a little bit stouter individual, no doubt, to cattle on either side of her, but with that heifer gets a little bit plainer, a little bit stale looking out here, if you will, but tremendous amount of power and stoutness built into that particular female. And the young lady that has this dark red one, a real good looking kind of female, and she's got her parked out here. You love how this heifer can get it around and move, how flexible she is, but she just needs to be a little bit more of her in comparison to the two head that walked out ahead of her, but you really like the overall look of that one.
Intermediate yearling female, class 768, and the division champion, first place and champion 932, W.R. Rosie, 777E, Hadley Dunclow, Wayne, Nebraska, second in the class 768, and your reserve intermediate yearling female, 930, HFR Eunice. That is Grady Creamer, Waxahachie, Texas. And third in the class 931 with Magnolia is Megan and Madison DeWar from Bakersfield, California. Up next, Class 769 Horn Spring Yearling females, born March 2nd through April 15, 2017. This will also be your Spring Yearling Female Division Championship. Judge once again on that side from Lima, Ohio, Todd Herman.
I would like to thank everybody here. I'd like to thank the Board of Directors of the American Angus Association. I'd like to thank the exhibitors and all the enthusiasts that are here today. It's really, truly an honor to come out here and sort these bulls. When you look at the National Western Stock Show and how it brings people from all over, especially from the western portion of the world, me being from the eastern portion. I mean, our big show is the North American, and then you get out here and you're at the National Western. It's a really, when you look at the National Western as opposed to the show back east, you look at the yards, you look at the hill, you look at the industry and the trade show and everything that gets done. This is an extremely strong event. You get out here and you look at these cattle today, you really like the set that we've got. We've got a set of cattle, when you get to moving them around the ring, they really float around the ring for the most part. They're extremely deep-bodied. For the most part, we had a few little foot issues that we saw today, nothing that we would call out as bad, you know, maybe just some environmental things or something like that, but a really nice set of cattle, really well presented. I think for the most part in really good condition to go on out and work for a seed stock producer and or a commercial producer. Just really appreciate the opportunity to be out here today. Really, if you could give these exhibitors a round of applause, and I'll pass the mic to one of the other judges today.
would like to, first of all, thank the American Angus Association and sale manager David Gazda for putting on this event. It is truly a really nice event, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. I'd like to thank all of the exhibitors. It is an extreme amount of work, effort, and money that goes into exhibiting cattle at the National Western. So you should be commended for your efforts and the nice set of bulls that you brought today. And before Lake and Joe and I go pick a Grand Champion bull, I'd like to remind everyone that the real judges here are the buyers tonight. The buyers are the ones who are going to truly decide the best bulls in this sale. They're going to vote with their dollars. But also, no matter if you buy the first bull in the ring or the last bull in the ring or somewhere in the middle, every bull here today has unique special merits that will go out and do a very good job in someone's program. So congratulations to all the exhibitors. Nice job.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the association and the board of directors for selecting me for this, what I consider an incredible honor. We've had kind of a hurry up and wait with how this goes in the tabulation of results, so I'll save my comments as we're compiling the reserve. Our grand, I'm going to go select on the behalf of the group. It was a unanimous decision. Congratulations.
And congratulations to our champion bull. He comes from Division 7, WAF Collusion 703. He's lot 27 in tonight's sale, born April 10th, 2017. He's consigned by Weaver Angus Farm of Edwards, Illinois. Congratulations. Moving into contention now will be lot 28, K-Bar D In-Depth 23E, born March 23rd, 2017. He's consigned by K-Bar D, Redmond, Oregon.
Wow, this is a serious class of heifers right here, and not only phenotypically, but then you look at what's attached to them paperwork-wise. Boy, you could, whew, there's some serious cow power out here in this particular class. This young man to win, this heifer hits me pretty hard as far as just the condition that she's in, how fresh this one is. You know, there's absolutely no chest in this one for as big and stout and powerfully constructed as she's made. I mean, it's still loose down there. There isn't hardly any fat deposits there. And you look at her, how in her top and out through her hip and the way everything fits together on her, it's pretty incredible for a heifer that size and yet still look that good and be able to move like that one does. Now this one right here has got a lot of good in her as well. How long and extended she is up through her front end, just tremendous in her length of hip alone. But where the problem is in the middle. That heifer collapses a little bit more than I like right there at her forerib, and you really look at her, you just like to see just a little softer look to her as you get off on a profile, but good-legged, a female that can really get out and move. Here's one coming here in third if you could just make her longer. This heifer just to me gets a little bit short. You love the amount of bone work that's underneath that one. Incredible from her hip to her pole as far as the way this one is built. A little bit too much chest for me out here. Somebody else, you're going to love this one because, I mean, she's real easy fleshing, real easy doing. I just don't think there's quite enough overall length in that one. She gives that up to heifers on either side of her. Here's one coming. I love the condition this one is in as well. Heifer, to me, just a little bit steery looking, and I don't really like to use that term, but that's what comes to mind when I look at that one. But I love the way that one is presented. A really good kind of cow there going out right now. Here's one that's pretty interesting as well. I really enjoy looking at this one from her shoulders back. I mean, how much stoutness and rib and body and overall mass is put in one. Real good at the ground as you watch her go. I just like to change that one up through her front end, extend her out just a little bit. Same with this heifer right here. If you could put a front end on this one right here, she pushes that one to win this class extremely hard because they're a lot the same kind as far as their build and their bone and their overall power, but there's just not enough neck extension in that one. The young man right here ends this class, got a tremendous brood cow, how soft pasturing she is, just going to be excellent as far as a money maker for him. Good looking when you get off the side of her, just a little bit plainer up through her front end for me, but my compliments to him. He's done an excellent job. Give him a nice hand in this particular class.
Here's results on Class 769 Horn Spring Yearling Females and your division championship for Spring Yearling Female. First place in champion 934, JCS Miss Buttercup, Kinsley and Sage Krebs, Gordon, Nebraska. Second in reserve, Towner Elisa. That is Michaela Lucky, Alvarado, Texas. In third, 942, Chesney Effling, Highmore, South Dakota. Fourth, 947, Ella Jacobs, Frederick, Maryland. Fifth, 939, Shane Myers, Thedford, Nebraska. Sixth, 937, Blake Breeding, Miami, Texas. 7th, 946, Roxton Stone, Stanton, Texas. In your program, starting on page 23, the placings for Class 769 are as follows. First in champion, second in reserve, 6-5. Top of the next page, 3, scratch, 7-4. In the ring next, it is Class 770 Horn Junior Yearling Females, born January 8th through February 21st, 2017. This is also your Junior Yearling Female Division Championship with our judge, Todd Herman from Lima, Ohio. After this class and division, we'll have our grand champion, Hereford, Horned Hereford selection.
And our reserve champion has been selected on the Angus side. Our reserve champions for this year's Sale Bull Show is Lot 35, DAJS AH Explorer 308. Born July 12, 2016. He's consigned by Doug Saytree Angus of Montague, Texas. Let's give our champions a big round of applause over here on the Angus side. Again, we'd love to have you join us this evening for the sale. It starts at 5:30. Prior to the sale, we'll have a preview of the bulls. We'll have a preview of the foundation female, and we'd love for you to be here. Give us just a moment, and we'll bring these bulls back into the ring for close inspection.
Boy, it's a nice place to end up with here in the Horned Heifer Show. This class and division, what a tremendous pair of heifers. Even these first three, we need to include her as well. Of these in this class, I mean, there's some really nice things to talk about between these three heifers. The one to win, you know, anybody that knows me knows that that's kind of my kind. I mean, the one that looks like that musty extension, that flat shouldered, how well she transitions right there in her forerib and into her shoulder, one that can move like she does and yet still has enough muscle and shape in her to balance everything up pretty darn well. I mean, that heifer looks extremely good out here. Condition-wise, up higher in the body is very, very good in that regard. I like that one a lot. This one here in second, boy, if I could just change that one right there in her forerib and how her shoulder is, this heifer's pretty incredible as well. The amount of body and spring of rib and depth to that one, and you watch that one take off and go, is really, really good in that regard. Both those heifers turn in just a little bit on their front end, so I mean, it's not a big thing that's going to separate them as far as that goes, how they go off their front tube. But the biggest thing is right there in her forerib and her shoulder, how it opens up. But a tremendous brood cow right there for that young man. This heifer here in third, sure one that you like from being really straight and true in her line. She's really level out through her hip. Heifer just gets a little bit plainer looking to me, a little bit stale in the way she comes to us today. Same with the young ladies going out right now. You'd like to change that one's udder just a little bit as she's starting to udder up in gestation. That heifer wants to collapse as well right there in her forerib. Here's one turning right here in front of me. You'll really like the pattern of this one, really long and level out through her hip, really good in her bone work. You love the substance that's standing or underneath that particular female. A little bit more refined when coming here, this young man right here in front of me, but you like how big-bodied she is and how much spring of rib that she exhibits. And the young lady turning the corner now, just a little bit plainer fronted, plainer headed kind of female, but a lot of power, a lot of muscle shape and design to that one. Give them a nice round of applause in this class, in this division.
Thank you, Mr. Herman. Here are the results on our final class in the division just before our grand champion selection for the Horned Hereford. Class 770, Horned Junior Yearling Females, and your Junior Yearling Female Division Championship. First place and champion, 951, HBL Miss Reba, 727 ET, Grant Hans and Veda Vickland, Longmont, Colorado. And second, 958, and reserve as well. That is Logan Boyd, Maisley, Kentucky, with Madeline. In third, 961, Delana and Abigail Muck, Caledonia, Illinois. Fourth, 954, Sweet Kiwi Lime, Morgan Louderman, Macomb, Illinois. Fifth, 953, Flawless Queen, Jordan Johnson, Fort Dodge, Iowa. Sixth, 952, that is Cade Cotton Scarlett, Caden Wilson, Creston, Iowa. Seventh, 955, Samantha Taylor Gustafson, Junction City, Kansas. Here are the results of your programs. Page 24 for class 770. First and champion, 6, 5, 4. Top of the next page, 25, 7. Second and reserve, and 3. Once again, coming to the ring, this will be your grand champion Horned Hereford Heifer selection with our judge from Lima, Ohio, Todd Herman. Tell you more about him in just a moment. Special thanks to our National Junior Hereford Association Board of Directors that are helping us with today's show. They included Chairman Austin Matheny, Vice Chairman Brooke Hinojosa, Riley Barber, Director, Brent Downing, Director, Montana Lawrence, Director. Also leading out each one of our classes today, I'd like to thank the Cobbler Hereford Queen, Zayden Annan, and also the National Hereford Queen from Kansas, Emily Meinhardt. Thank you for helping us in the ring. Back to our judge from Lima, Ohio, a graduate of Michigan State University, grew up on a Hereford operation. He is currently the cowherd manager at Jones Show Cattle in Hereford, Ohio. He and his wife Kim, along with their daughter and son-in-law Casey and Dan Heindel, own Herman Cattle Company. This is your lineup for our Horned Hereford heifer selection.
Those of you around ringside, we invite you to come in and take a look at the bulls as they're on display here. Come on in and take a look. Again, if you're ringside here on the Angus side, you're welcome to come into the show ring and inspect the bulls. So if you feel free, guys, to come in and inspect the bulls. If you're wanting to look at them, you don't have to stand around ringside.
Well, we're to the point of getting this done, and this has been, I just can't put it in words, what this has been like today going through these two shows in this junior show. I mean, these young people are just incredible how they can show these things. I know I'm mic'd up here on Facebook, so I got to be a little careful here. I don't say anything that isn't children friendly, because there's probably no bleeps on Facebook that they can get in there quick enough. But this has been thoroughly enjoyable. You know, I talked about a little bit about family before picking that pole champion, and you know, my father has been an integral part in my life, as obviously most fathers are. But my dad's pretty unique. If I won for him, obviously I wouldn't be here, but I wouldn't be the kind of person I am today without him. I mean, and then he has made a big sacrifice coming out here and supporting Kim and I, and you know, I don't know whether he's enjoyed watching this show or not. Probably, you know, in a lot of respects, probably not. It's probably like watching paint dry, just like it is for most of you people that, you know, come on, dude, just shut up and go do something. But I've really enjoyed this. These junior board members have been tremendous. My compliments to you all for the job you do. You've saved me a lot of steps, and they all know what to do, how to do it, to get these cattle shown out here. It's just been tremendous. And Jack and Shane and Tommy and John and Joe and Levi, all these people that make this organization happen, Bailey and Amy, and it's just been tremendous. And interesting, I'll make this quick, but went out to dinner with Jack, and we got talking about the people that have been through, or we have come in contact with, the Harlan Richies and the Herman Purdy's, and what an impact that's made on our lives. And the people that have done so much for not only this breed but the whole industry in general. You know, the Ron Nelsons and just folks like that. And it was really enjoyable to visit with him about a lot of things like that and how far this breed has come and where it's still going yet is pretty impressive amongst itself. Like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed that conversation with him, and my utmost respect for everyone there here at the Hereford Association. This has been tremendous. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Give these young people a great round of applause. I'll go show you which ones I like.
Those comments once again from Todd Herman, our judge from Lima, Ohio. And your grand champion, Horned Heifer, comes out of Class 761B, that is 864, B and C, Miss Mighty 8017F, Lake Breeding, Miami, Texas. That'll move 877 into consideration for reserve. And your reserve grand champion, Horned Hereford Heifer, is 934. That comes out of that spring yearling female division. That is also out of Class 769, JCS Miss Buttercup 7296, Kinsley and Sage Krebs, Gordon, Nebraska. Congratulations to all of our Hereford exhibitors. Thank you for attending today's show and bringing your animals to Denver. And thanks once again to our judge, Todd Herman from Lima, Ohio. Don't forget, the American Angus Association invites you to attend an evening event here in the Stadium Arena. Kicks off with that social at 4:15 this afternoon. The National Western Angus Bull Sale presents nearly 35 lots of elite Angus genetics and the 2019 Angus Foundation Heifer Package, which will be sold at 5:30 this evening.